Hello, all. You're late now. The approved heading is for 4B really easy to understand. Those are people that aggregated their currency already in different groups, etc. So they've already gone through the KYC, they've already done the paperwork, submitted copies with their IDs, their passport, etc. They've already been through the process. I would be one of those. Many, many, many people in this group are part of those, meaning you've already gone through that process. Just speeds it up a few hours during the exchange, that's all. Or possibly. Let's see. Per Frank 26, Iraqi TV says U.S. delegation to visit Iraq in the next 72 hours. I was going to say there's a couple of delegations visiting. One of them already there on the ground. U.S. Department Secretary, Treasury, War Department, Federal Reserve people. Yeah, we got a couple articles on that. We shared a couple last week already. One on Saturday, I believe one on Friday about the upcoming meetings this week. Guys, 90% of what you were reading from everybody else, you already had here if you would read the articles I share each day. I do it for a reason, for those that are keeping up with it. Hello, Kevin. Busted Gia B. Mega inspired silver and gold. Yeah, we got some very interesting things going on that front over the weekend. Yeah, Mary, exactly. Said my husband and I were viewing our currency this morning, and if the rates are just half of what's projected, almost unbelievable. I mean, guys, even at like 5% of projected is almost unbelievable for most. It's awesome. It's a good thing. Now we just need it to happen. Hello, Lakota, Red Cloud. Hello, Tim. Hello, Beautiful and Grandma Evie. Hello, Jay and Amy and Dolly and Tinkerbell. Ooh, I know. I better do this before I can possibly forget. Let's talk about that liver. If you're like me, you're getting to that age where your body just feels sluggish and off all the time, then listen up. Because recently I wasn't feeling great and decided to call my friend Dr. Josh for some help. Told him what was going on. His response kind of shocked me. He said that I was showing all the telltale signs of a clogged liver. Probably already heard about how important your liver is for detoxification, digestion, and energy levels. Here's the thing. Most people have no idea how clogged their liver and overburdened their liver actually is. Eating processed food, drink, even stress, these things can all take a toll, leaving your liver clogged. And it's important not to let this go unchecked because your liver is arguably the most important organ in your body, being responsible for the proper function of nearly every system in your body, from digestion to metabolism to detoxification. Essentially, a healthy liver equals a healthy you. That's why Dr. Josh, a practicing doctor with over 25 years of medical expertise, formulated a special liver supplement called Ultra Liver that acts like a deep cleanse for your entire body. They've sold a bunch, over 500,000 bottles. They probably sold over 1 million by now. I know it's been effective for me since I started taking it. Happy to say bloating's gone down, fatigue's gone down, skin issues going down, more energy, etc. Really does seem to be very effective. Dr. Josh put his 25 years of experience into Ultra Liver to make certain it actually does what it's supposed to. So if you're ready to unclog your liver, flush those toxins that are sapping your energy, keeping you from losing weight, feeling better, all those things, and just go to tryultraliver.com/MarkZ to get your hands on Ultra Liver today. And he is doing a 50% off sale that has been extended, that is going on, but you can only find that at tryultraliver.com/MarkZ. You can just click it. It links in the description in YouTube and Rumble to make it easier for you. Yeah, Mr. Dip, what kind of silver can hit 60? Tupelo, honey, it is fun watching this run, and it's fun watching them try to keep up with it. The sheer desperation going on as they are trying to keep up with it. James, it's good to see you in the house. Hopefully the wife and little one are good. Silver did over 59 early this morning. Salt Mo Eyes. The scam is TIPA, and they are desperately trying to keep it going. And it's gotten even worse over the weekend. Whew, that one was a tough one. Bo, there are a lot of people that have done tutorials on how to change that name. I do not know how to tell you how to change your name. No, I'm not hearing the QF is live now. QFS is not going to be live until the reset occurs, and you're going to know it because you'll be going into exchange currencies. Till then, do they have it ready? Could they be running a little bit parallel? Sure, they could be doing all those things. But that's a question you're never going to have to ask Chris Guns and Guitar whether it is full blown, because you'll be running off the bank. You'll be hearing about banking changes. You can't miss that one. They can't slip that one in under the radar. LSU girl, I am with you 5,000,000%. I wish I had bought more silver years ago, and I have been stacking silver on and off since the early 2000s. Don't know if I call it stacking. Hicktown, I do not know when to expect it going as far as exact timing. I do not. Do I have some expectations and some hopes? Yes. And I've talked about those ad nauseum, and it hasn't changed in the last week. Dave, we'll talk about the delegations that are in Iraq, who they are, what they are. We've been talking about them for the last 3 or 4 podcasts. We're going to talk about them again today, and we're going to share articles again today. Yeah, Petrichor Ranch did a walkthrough on how to change your YouTube name 2 Fridays ago on my Let's Chav Live. I really should, Ellen. If you can email me an exact link to that video or whatever so they can find it, I'll share it here in chat. You ever feel like people ask the same questions when they come in late? They do, but it's okay. Yes, Mr. Austin Martin, I'm hearing that a U.S. delegation is visiting Baghdad in the next few days. We even talked about it last week. Hey, guys, there's U.S. delegations going to Iraq. Silver breaking, not to be held. It has blown through resistance levels. This is going to be interesting. We are definitely going to be all over it. Hey, let's see. That's not a bad idea. Patsy TSA charging $45 for people without a real ID. That's not a bad approach. Just use money. Those that don't want to do it can just plan on taking extra time. Yep. Not a bad idea. And then they use money as to whether it's worth them or not. Hold on, guys. I got to respond to a work call. I don't have to. I'm sending them a voicemail, but. All right. Did I get that sent right? Yep, did. All right. Now, passport's a real ID. That works exactly. Just go get your passport. Be done with it. You're going to need it to travel anyways. I know it's expensive. Mama Bear, totally depends on your state. What is it? 17 states don't require an ID. The rest of them do. Hello, just sharing September mornings. Hello, Don. Does Iraq have control over when the RV occurs? Don, I think it has been released for them to have the timing, I think. Do we know for certain? No, we don't. We've heard stories all over the place. We're going to talk about bonds. I'm not doing it twice today. So we'll wait until the 10-minute mark, roll through the news, and do it once. Lori's birthday. Hello, Miss Lori. Happy birthday. All right. There's so many rumors out there. One, Mr. C is just fine. He is not gone yet. He is not processed. Nobody's come to see him for codes. Let's get into what news there is. And there is some interesting news today. So we're going to dive into it. Do we want to start here? Let's start with some of the rumors. Guys, I'm not going to have a bond update. At the absolute earliest, it will be tomorrow night before I have you a bond update, unless the whole world just gets turned on its ear and shaken upside down because of the bond contacts I have that have appointments and updates and conference calls. Nobody is scheduled to have anything until tomorrow afternoon that I have in my contacts. Maybe people out there on the boards that have a lot to update you with. I do not expect to have any update on that front until tomorrow night. If something changes, I'll let you know. What else? Oh, I should probably go back to this. Rumors. We will see. There are many rumors running around the Beltway and Wall Street saying that Powell is going to resign tonight. Lots of rumors. Not just one or two. I'm talking lots of rumors. So keep an ear out, see if it's factual or not. And then we are getting many reports of massive silver calls where large amounts are being called for delivery instead of rolling them back into paper, extending them, etc. These rumors, and they are coming all over the place. There's got to be some truth to them, or I would not be getting this many. On the silver side, we also have, well, we're going to share some of the others about a sudden potential abandoning of the U.S. For a gold desk. Let's see if I can find it for you. On JP Morgan, there is, and guys, I haven't been able to really substantiate it. I'm getting tons and tons and tons and tons of rumors, and it is a one that is lighting up the internet right now as well. Alleged move of JP Morgan's gold trading desk to Singapore on November 27th, Thanksgiving Day. A claim emerged that JP Morgan Chase moved its entire New York-based gold trading desk to Singapore overnight, relocating 50 traders and their families. There's an internal memo that has given rise to this one, and I am getting some supporting stuff back and forth on it. This could be huge. I know I just took the news banner off. It was a little in the way for me. 72Z, I saw that one this morning. Judy Shelton up next. She is definitely being rumored. Trump gave us a little piece on that when he was blasting reporters and mainstream reporters over the weekend. Said, yeah, I've already got an idea who's taking his place. No, I'm not going to tell you because you're irresponsible with it. He blasted the press this weekend on Saturday. What does that mean? That means the make-believe game is going away is what that means. It means the calls are coming due. The bluffing is over. Have to kill me first. JP Morgan supposedly has moved 50 employees and families, and they're supposed to report to work, I believe, today in their new locations. If it is all accurate, there's so much coming. Let's see. Ripple made an announcement this morning about partnership with Singapore. Sherry's 75th birthday today. Happy birthday to her. Time for the Federal Reserve to be shut down permanently. I'm with you, Uptown Girl. Okay, I know. I need to get back to it. Charlie, I got Jamie Dimon on speed dial. I'll be right back. Let us know. Let's see. Mark, I have a friend that works at BMV. And a lot of people don't have the proper ID to obtain a driver's license with the status to fly, birth certificate, marriage license, etc. Yeah, I had to go get mine too. I had to go down to the register of deeds, spend $10, get updated certified copies. Yeah, I had to do all that stuff when I got mine way back when. It made getting a passport easier. They're going to have your information anyways. They already have it anyways. I'm kind of surprised they make you jump through the hoops when they already have it. Why is JP Morgan going to Singapore important? Because that would mean they are abandoning the very manipulated COMEX and London Metals Exchange and the LME. That would be really big. Or it could also mean they are going to go hide in China. for everything they've done bad in Europe and America. Rails being finalized. Let's see. Nothing in price action yet. When it does, explosion. Let's keep going. Let's go back here. The central bank, when it says Egypt, guys, it's a translation issue. They are talking about Iraq. Postpones the requirement of the pre-declaration until 2026 and excludes 4 commodities from the decision. What are we referring to? Remember how they were changing their structure on imports, exports, and it was supposed to start today on December 1st or December 2nd? It's going into effect. They have postponed that 1 month. Exactly 1 month. It now goes into effect January 1st instead of December. I think this is important because I think this is giving us our window that they are trying to have this completed this month. That is my opinion. And I have a couple things that help support that. Economic talk about the rise of the exchange rate as a medium storm to serve this category. Putting rumors, trying to get people to buy more, but it also blends into this story where they need more dollars because of the way they need them to pay for foreign goods. So they need U.S. dollars to do that because of all the restrictions, banking restrictions. But sometime between now and the end of this month, it all goes through legitimate banks instead of in between. But now what this does by postponing this 1 month, and by planting rumors about it means people are going to be running out, at least for the next month, and they're going to be unloading their dinar and buying dollars. So they're going to sell their dinar to the bank, the official exchange rate, to get more dollars to buy goods from outside. So it is going to cause a temporary, because they extended it, intake of dinar out of the market. So they're going to be buying dinars with dollars. People are going to have dollars in their pocket, not dinar. So there's going to be less in circulation. You look at all this, it is a perfect way to suck some off the street at T minus 10 and counting. So it looks like they are between extending to this, planning rumors about exchange rate, very real because they're going to be needed to be able to purchase goods going into the Christmas season from countries around, and etc. And yes, they celebrate Christmas in Iraq too. Most people, I don't think, realize the size of the Christian community in Iraq. So looking at a lot more dinar getting swept off the street in this month. I think that is I think that is planned and purposeful. Here's some of your delegations. This one, though, was a Kurdish delegation to Baghdad to discuss transferring too late salaries to the region's employees. We're talking about October, November, as they are moving forward. Now that they have cleaned up their roles, they are meeting to push forward on getting that money released. These are HCL steps that we are watching. Remember, again, we've been told HCL, once it's passed, we're days away. Once it is fully, completely passed, not pieces, parts, not puzzle pieces, the whole thing gets the sign off. And we are getting closer and closer to that point right now. This one being a big move for that final, those final 2 payments to go through. Here's some of your delegations. U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Michael Rigas arrives in Iraq. Who else arrives this week? Trump's envoy to Iraq. Who else arrives? Some folks from the banking world, Federal Reserve and Treasury, arrived this week. We have shared articles on all of these. This is the final article being shared on the U.S. Deputy Secretary of State arriving. They're going to be working on security issues here. We even talk about precedes the arrival of U.S. Presidential Donald Trump Special Envoy, MarkZ, scheduled in the coming days. There are a lot of very important people in Iraq. At the same time, we are seeing decisions like this. We're seeing movement of dollars, moving dinar off the street, dollars into their hands instead, especially on companies, meaning companies are buying a lot of, selling their dinar so they can use the dollars. And I think that is kind of important. The average Iraqi only makes a little under $6,000 US per year. So at the end of the month, they are not rolling around with a lot of extra currency. A lot of people are like, oh my God, everybody in Iraq's going to be a millionaire. Most of them, guys, at the end of the month, they might have 5,000 dinars still left, maybe. The average Iraqi is not going to be running around wealthy. Will there be some that do very well? Yes. The companies that are still sitting on larger holdings, they theoretically could do a lot better, but by postponing movement and money movement 1 month, a lot of them are not going to have very many dinar in their account. I think it is purposeful. So many dollars moving around all over the world right now. It is interesting to watch it. Okay, we got all of those. Let's go in here. Prime Minister Mohammed Shia Al Sudani discusses with U.S. President Special Envoy to Syria, Tom Barak. So we got another U.S. official there, and they are working on getting Iraq and Syria more involved with each other, getting Iraq to take a leading role in Syria. It's like getting Iraq to expand west and north, so things are more stable, so more oil hits the market. I think this is a power play. I think the Trump administration, the elders, whoever out there, are trying to fold Syria into this revaluation to help support the assets and the currencies in the region, because this is very unprecedented. Maybe it's just the difference in administrations, an administration that sees building as a better way of bringing stability to a country that has been war torn, instead of coming in there, taking advantage and sucking everything out of it. Maybe he's just taking a very altruistic approach, more of a Marshall Plan approach instead of a carpetbag approach. Here's back to the JP Morgan moving the gold trading desk. We are still looking for more and more. Are there a lot of hints at it, a lot of pieces and parts and allegations? Yes, tons. We need more facts on this story. Then we're going to bounce in. Now we're going to talk about some of the NESARA things that to me scream they are preparing and testing. Poly Market Post, just in, some New Yorkers are getting 12 grand in crypto for a universal basic income experiment sponsored by Coinbase. Be a great way to do this without a government having to say, hey, we did it. They can partner with, work with. Hey, it's just a pilot program. We want to see how people are going to behave. This is very important if NESARA is ever going to move forward, and if high levels of tech are ever going to move forward. But how do you do this without taking authoritarian control? We have to be able to leave the money decentralized, in my opinion. All right, Dan Draven posting after Poly Market Posts. A new pilot program in New York City is testing a universal basic income model using cryptocurrency with funding from Coinbase and administration by the nonprofit Give Directly. About 160 low-income young adults are receiving 12 grand in USDC stablecoin, split between 8 grand upfront and then 5 monthly payments of $800. The initiative aims to study how unconditional digital cash transfer affects poverty, financial stability, opportunity, while also showcasing how crypto can be used as a tool for financial inclusion, social support. Part of this scares me. Part of it makes me feel warm and fuzzy. Verdict is still out. It is going to be based on how they execute and how they administer. Does it come with a million strings? Is this for people as a hand up, not a hand out? Does this make them more dependent on the system, or does this make them independent? So for me, I think this is yet another test for the NESARA for that reset, because we see it in certain bills going away. We see it here in the States. It's been student loans, certain health bills, certain mortgages, certain credit cards. I think they are testing people to see how they behave so that they are prepared for this rollout. It is my hope that this is one last great test, and it is worldwide. It is not just in the U.S. Billions of dollars of debt wiped from accounts of 100,000 Aussies. Student debt. Is this a giveaway so that these young people will vote the way you want? Or is this a NESARA rollout? Matt, Musk said we would all get a high universal income. At some point, it only makes sense that that is accurate if technology is going to continue to run, if we're going to get all this new tech released with this reset, or even if we don't, technology is going that direction. We're going to need human labor less and less and less. It makes sense. The question is how unstable are things going to be before they become stable? Because that is a lot of change. Anytime you throw change, even if it's very positive change, it leads to a lot of instability. Bernard, what'd you say? Let's see. Do you think falling oil prices will affect the RV? Yes, it very much could. Do I think it could postpone it, put it off? No. Do I think it could affect value? Possibly. Pam asking for prayers. Mark, could you pray for my grandsons? Their father died in their arms on the 29th. Oh, my goodness. Pamela, folks out there, Pamela's grandsons could use a little prayer. Woo Dan Fu. Maybe they should cancel college student loan debt. They didn't get anything from them anyway. Anyway, that one is such a tough one for me because it's so unfair to folks that didn't take the loans. That's just like people when we do get debt cancellation, people that have been living and borrowing from Paul to pay Peter and all that have been very living a big life, bigger than they should have. It's very unfair to those that have been disciplined. I get it. I do. But we also have to remember the money was largely fraudulent in this digital fiat world. It's a tough one. Instead of being mad, I am going to be thankful for those people's blessings. I want people around me to do better. I want people around me to be lucky, to have great things. I just hope and pray they do good things with it because they will be judged at some point, not by me. It's not my job. My job's to forgive. Doesn't mean I have to forget, just means I got to forgive. Very different things. I'll leave that to God to do the judging. But I want people to do well, even people I don't like. I want them to be successful as long as it doesn't come at the cost of somebody else. Let's see. Wait, James, I'm hearing this won't go until next year. What's your thoughts? It's possible. It's also possible it could go tonight or tomorrow. We don't know. I think it goes sometime between now and January 2nd. That's what I think now. I could be absolutely wrong. I could be sitting here next January. I don't think I'm going to be, but I could be. We're watching funding corridors come apart. We're watching the bottom come out of metals. We are watching another huge one that is, boy, this is straight out of a movie, this next one. Bond quake in Tokyo, yield spreads hit absurd extremes. Something has to break. We are watching, and I was told that we would watch this occur right before a reset. And we're watching the government bonds. I'm not talking about the historic bonds, guys. I'm talking about the government bonds that have been keeping us afloat from like U.S. Treasuries, Japanese bonds, etc. Not the old historic stuff that we're keeping track of. I'm talking about the day-to-day bonds that they have used to live and borrow against tomorrow. We're watching it come unglued. That's part of why I think it is much sooner than further away, because the whole system's coming unglued right now. We are on the verge, the precipice of a collapse by any historic metric and standard of responsible economics. Miss this episode, Institute. The impossible 2%, why central banks cannot afford price stability. You know how they keep telling us they want to get down to 2% inflation? It's a target. 2% no longer works. They need it to be considerably higher. The arbitrary anchor. New Zealand invented the 2% target in 1989. That's recent history, folks. By looking backward at what inflation has been when things felt stable. Hardly rigorous science. They just, hey, things felt kind of good around 2%. We didn't have to pay back as much. We felt like we could juggle this longer. And then it went south when they figured they could run bigger deficits. They could live higher on the hog and pay the bill later or stick it on the working class. So they talk about this mirage, what it means, how it means. But the most important thing is because of the amount of debt, 2% doesn't work. They need 4%. Nah, they need like 10, 15, 20% inflation now just to keep juggling. And how long is that sustainable? What happened in the 4 years under Joe Biden where we had that level of inflation? Was that sustainable? Could you guys survive another 4 years? I think it would put I mean, it already put a lot of people under. How many of you folks can't afford at the end of the month? I mean, the bills, the food, you got to give up something. Medicine, insurance, cars, seeing the grandkids, seeing the friends, the family, the kids, any of it. We've already given up an extreme amount in the past 4 years, 5 years, but it is unsustainable unless we do that again. Where would we be? That's why I keep saying, guys, the fundamentals, it is broken. It is all coming apart, and we are on it right now. As money gets tighter, more people are selling gold and silver. In a 2025 survey, one gold buyer found that financial need ranked among the top reasons people were selling their precious metals. Guys, when they're selling their precious metals, I'm talking about mom and pop, people that had stacked silver for years, a little bit here and there, working class folks. Some of them upper middle class where they had it. And now in order to sustain their lifestyle, they've got to sell what they had squirreled away. I'm glad they squirreled it away. It'd be better than if they'd have put it in the bank, and inflation would have been beating it apart. That is not enough gold. It is not enough silver to stop a correction, though. I know that maybe it seems like that. You go to your local coin dealers. Oh yeah, no, I've got people coming to sell. I got plenty of supply. I don't care what they say. Things are great. Me coming in to sell 10 ounces so I can pay 10 ounces of silver or an ounce of gold in a month to be able to finish the month in bills is not the same thing as a central bank buying, 4 tons, a ton, 400 ounces, big stuff like that, the smaller one. But it does create an opportunity for those that still can afford to pick up a few to soften any financial blow, put themselves on a gold and silver standard. This is a last great opportunity, probably. This is not financial advice, folks. Consider it education, entertainment, whatever you want to consider it. But as I watch this, it's going to be a last juggling of those dollars as the metals are coming unglued. If you can hang on, because it only seems to be going up. Should probably take a pause there before the last couple stories of the day. Let's see. So, what is this new banking mechanism that Prime Minister Sudani was going to implement on December 1st? That is the one where they automatically take tariffs, etc., and customs before transfers of money. And before, in order to purchase goods outside of the country, they had to convert them to US dollars, buy the goods in US dollars, pay customs when they come in. Now it's all done seamlessly. They don't have to convert the money. It is done through the banking system. So it is all above board. Before, a lot of backroom deals, a lot of fees, a lot of tariffs, a lot of things that just weren't getting paid because a little money went into the right hand. God, rather than pay 10 grand on that container in taxes, I'm just going to bribe this guy $500 and a bottle of Jack Daniels. It does away with all those things. So it's going to devastate the demand for the US dollar. That was what was supposed to change December 1st. It's now going to change December 31st. But it does create an artificial need to sell dinar and buy dollars for the month. And that's why I think it is very purposeful why they did that. I think MEPS, you could very well be correct. MEPS Fishing says, I still bet on silver to hit 75 this year. You are not the only person now betting on that. A lot of people are betting on it. Trump says a pause on asylum decisions will be in place for a long time. We don't want those people. We have enough problems, President Trump told reporters. This is part of that conversation on Air Force One. He did not pull any punches. They're coming from all these areas. Look at the mess in Minnesota. He's like, $1 billion stolen. Tim Walz is an idiot. I don't know if idiot. Some very tough words in his referencing or referral to Tim Walz and what is going on there. Does anybody feel like we dodged a bullet? A Harris Walz bullet? Anybody? I know a lot of people out there are not 100% happy with Trump, but think about what we would have had if it had gone the other direction. There was only 2 possibilities in that election by the time we got into the last months, and that was Harris or Trump. I personally feel like while we may not have gotten exactly what we wanted, we got a heck of a lot better than the alternative. I mean, you should be throwing a party. And see, I'm with Daisy. Whoa, slow it down, Daisy. We totally dodged a bullet. I agree with you. We dodged it with them. Yeah, no, I'm with you. All right. Let's keep running. Let's keep running. We did that one. Oh, the freezing of asylum. We talked about that one. He was just simply saying we have our own problems to take care of. I know these people have problems, but we need to prioritize our problems, our country, our people, get our house in order before we bring in more people. And I agree with him. 100% agree with him. It's done throughout world history, American history, you name it, where it has been frozen. Many of the countries folks are coming from right now have done the same thing. New York Times torches Tim Walz after Somalians scam woke Minnesota for $1 billion on his watch. There it is. New York Times has thrown Minnesota Governor Tim Walz under the bus over a massive and sprawling fraud scandal that federal prosecutors say siphoned over $1 billion from the state's social safety net programs, more than the entire state spends annually to run its Department of Corrections. And just take all the people that defrauded them and throw it in the Department of Corrections. Now it's funded. They're off the street and they get to collect the money. I'm all about it as we are watching. And Hillary too. Yeah, no, I agree with you guys on so many fronts. Ralph, will we still be paying property tax after the RV? I don't know that answer. I've had back and forth. Ralph, my suggestion to folks, well, we're not going to pay this. We're not going to pay that. Do you think we're going to pay that? Think about it logically. Whenever you think about those things, right, wrong, or indifferent, government needs money to operate. They need money to maintain streets. They need money to dump your trash, to fix your water. There are certain things that are still going to require funding. It is not all rainbows and unicorns. The moment we have any kind of change or reset, folks, we still have to function with the real laws of the world, meaning things still have to happen. If you want to buy something, somebody's got to make it. Somebody's got to mine the minerals, mine the metals, build your car, pump the oil, whatever it is for whatever product you want. Somebody has to do something. Somebody has to function. And that is also true of your government services. So where's that money going to come from? Are we just going to put in some magical pot of money that is just like a cornucopia and it just craps it out every month and we get to pay for those things and nobody ever has to pay a tax again? Come on, guys. Does that sound reasonable or realistic to you? So is there a chance we're not going to have property tax? Is there a chance we're going to go to a VAT, some kind of value added or a sales tax? Yes, that's mostly what I hear. Is it going to be enough? Are they going to add a piece here, a piece there that goes to the state, the city, etc.? Just think logically through when somebody tells you, but that's going away or this going away, and say, well, how are they going to fund it? Now, if we make things more efficient, we can cut a large amount of that out. And if we don't have debt service, which is nearly 50% of our budget and is true in a lot of states as well, you can cut down those taxes in half. Realistically, we could cut all taxes in the U.S. in half if we weren't servicing in debt and we increased our efficiency and got rid of, government employees that are leaning on a shovel, got rid of a lot of extra paper pushing. We could probably cut 60, 70% of the cost of government. And I think that is the realistic goal as we're moving forward. It's not all going away. It's illogical and irrational to think that it's all going away. Oh, yeah, I totally think Walz has been getting a cut. Whether that cut has been in finances or political power, that is the question. He has been getting a cut. Has it been somebody giving him money, handing off his boyfriend a fox stole or mink stole? Oh, wait a minute, I don't know if he's got a boyfriend or not. But in general, yeah, the question is, has it just been through people voting for him so that he could be living in the governor mansion and getting kickbacks from everything else? Or were they sliding him dollars under the table or into an offshore banking account? Oh, he's been getting paid. The question is how? Whether it's been in political influence or in cash. He has a thing for horses. Yeah. Ooh, that's a different kind of milk right there, buddy. Jeannie, that's why I keep saying we have hit the wall. Nothing left to give up. Savings, none. savings, food. I mean, what else can you? Most of America has nothing left to give up. Most of the world has nothing left to give up. Nancy Milk. Nancy, there was a story running around. There's a newspaper story to support it. And there have been family members in Tim Walz' family that have confirmed the story about Tim Walz having to go get his stomach pumped after drinking a bunch of horse semen on a bet. Whether it's real, whether it's not, I don't know. Go out, do your research. I've done a lot of it, and the only places I can have that detract from it or say it's not true are, well, very liberal fact checking, whatever. When I look and I do the deep dive, I can find far more stories and supposed witnesses and first have witnesses and news story. And you can even track the visit through the medical system. Somebody named Tim Walz, the same age, same everything, had a stomach pumped over drinking a bunch of horse semen. Whether it's true or not, y'all find out. Yeah, supposedly Richard Gere had to have a gerbil or a hamster taken out of his butthole or something. I don't know if that's factual or not. He was semi-famous for doing gay porn, supposedly. At least that's the folk rumor. Yeah, Kathy, sometimes you just don't want to know on these things. At least Sylvester Stallone started in straight porn, right? Or at least that's the rumor. All right. Or soft straight porn, I should say. DL tab, sick puppies. There are sick puppies out there. Yes, there are. Yeah, Jen Ryder, what a way to start a Monday. Golden on. I am pretty certain we have Andy this week, guys. Right now, while I have it in my mind, while it's right in front and center before I can drop the ball, I'm going to go ahead and reach out to him so that I have an answer. I may not have it today, but I'll have it before tomorrow. All right. Wait a minute. Why is this not working? Nope. Let's. All right, folks. All right. Message has been set. Hopefully, I'll be able to get you an answer before the podcast is done. Getting a farm, just paid my property tax, $700. That was Christmas. A lot of folks. Yeah, it's a sad time. We've got to be able to change the reality that we live in, and we can do that with or without the government, with or without a reset. A lot easier with one. Biscuit, been entertaining, right? Golden, I agree with you. We've definitely missed him. Of all the weeks for him to be away, he sure picked some eventful weeks. He certainly did. All right, let's keep running. Where was that? A couple more. The whole model is broken. Oh, I like this one. The whole model is broken. The tech mafia wife admits we were Klaus Schwab's useful idiots. When someone who used to be the queen of elite progressive philanthropy says the entire system failed and may have been hijacked for something much darker, the world needs to hear it. As Camus writes in a post on X, Nicole Shanahan, who remembers Nicole Shanahan? That was RFK Jr.'s running mate before he backed Trump and dropped out of the presidential race. Wealthy. Tech billionaire's wife was really big and very smart lady, but she says, hey, I was a useful idiot, along with most of Silicon Valley's wives. They suddenly had millions and billions of dollars, and they were giving it to all these woke causes because it was the in vogue thing to do. And now Nicole, the leader of this group that jumped ship for a common sense run with RFK Jr., whether we agreed with his politics or you agree with all of his politics or not. I don't agree with all of them. I agree with a lot of them. And as he went through that run or that presidential aspirations and ran and then joined Trump and going through the COVID years, he has seen a lot And a lot of his views have changed. Second Amendment. He now believes it makes more sense for people to guns. Before he was like, no, let's get them out. You don't need a gun. Now he's like, wait a minute, you need a gun. There are crazy people out there because the left had whipped people up to come try to kill him, etc. He calls, hours later, guys are already in his house. He's got to flee and nobody showed up. He's like, wait a minute. Okay, it makes sense. We need guns. We need the Second Amendment. So, it has been watching this transition, watching those woke tech wives come out and say, wait a minute. We were Klaus Schwab's useful idiots. We were further in World Economic Forum. They were using us and our desire to be helpful, to be good humans. You got to think through what it means. Sometimes tough love is best and stop enabling bad behavior. And that's her point. All we did was make it worse. We didn't make anything better. We were Klaus Schwab's useful idiots. It's the world is waking up, and I love watching this. A really small group of people completely blind to how their groundwork is being used to enable these great reset policies. We're waking up here. I'm afraid it is too far gone in Europe. That is my fear. For those, call them God-loving, common sense loving, Constitution loving type people, I'm afraid it's too late for much of Europe. That worries me. Is UBI enabling? It absolutely could be, Wolf Pup. Absolutely 100% could be. It's going to depend on people and how they treat it. That is my concern when I see a UBI. Is it going to lead to a dependent, controllable group of people? Our education system has gotten so piss poor, we no longer teach people to think. Now we just give them money. They get to stay at home, do nothing. We tell them, if you vote this way, you don't get your free stuff. If you vote this way, you go down to a little studio closet, you get a 10-foot by 10-foot room, and you eat bugs. If you behave this way, we'll even give you some soy noodles to go with it, and you get a 12 by 12 closet. No, I'm very, very concerned over how UBI is going to be used. I see progress and evolution and et cetera going to the point where we don't need people's labor. The question is what does that look like? Can we somehow go back to the educational system, educate people to still want more, strive more, do more, be more productive, and still have these things? Or is this the beginning of the end of humanity? I don't have the answer. I can see a number of outcomes, but so much is going to be how people handle it. And that's why I think we are watching that very logical rolling out of these things and test markets to see how different people in different parts of the world, different parts of the countries, how they embrace it. In other words, could I do a UBI in the country? And it works great. People get it, 90%. They keep doing stuff. They still stay functional. They're having to find some compromises. Now some of the compromises are going to Russia to see how it goes, see if they will accept that much more limited give up of territory. Now, keep in mind, when this thing first started, Russia wasn't going to take any. Does the U.S. just walk away? The U.S. has very much signaled at this point, the Trump administration, that they will walk away and let Russia do what it wants and no longer support the Ukraine or Europe in this effort if they don't come to some kind of common sense compromise. It's not going to be what either side exactly what they want. Just the world needs to get over that. Everybody needs to get over that. This is how it works. If you don't compromise and settle, there's going to be a lot more body bags full of dead bodies and children and next generations. What's it going to look like? That the extreme push, and we should be coming to a conclusion, is your takeaway. I hope Mr. C is right. And the moment we get this, we see our change. Romanak, is it my internet going in and out, or is it you guys's? Have I been freezing for everybody or just some people? That'll be the answer. Need family. Moms should be able to stay home with their kids without a babysitter. I could not agree any more possibly with that statement. And that is where the built-in inflation in the fiat world has been used to ruin or break down the American family. Same thing in other countries, guys. Same thing in other countries. That built-in inflation rate has been used to rob savings and to force mom into working too. Whether it was intentional or just a very beneficial side effect for the Great Reset people that don't want you raising your children with your set of values. They want you raising them with their woke, progressive set of values. Whether that was purposeful or just a side effect, I don't know. I think it was purposeful. Key West Kim needs a happy birthday to make her day. Key West Kim, happy birthday to go with Lori and Cherry. How many birthdays do we have now that I see the time? Great movie. Oh, yeah, I don't even want to know. I'm going to ignore all these because I don't know what the truth is. Freezing and thawing. Aloha's birthday. Mitchellham. The whole purpose of making moms go to work was to break down the family, let government control what your children learn. I agree with you. I agree with you. It was designed that way. Jay Hart, not for me on the freezing. Okay, it's good to know that it's probably just a internet wide thing and not a me thing. If some people, if anybody out there is not getting freezing, that means it's not me. Manhattan, everyone will continue to be who they are with UBI. Some people love to work. Manhattan born, I hope you're right. History has told me that you're not, but I hope you are right. I would like to think that people will continue to work and use it as a step up in breathing room. But there are a lot of lazy people out there. There are going to be a lot of people that don't. Mud and Ray Callie, happy birthday. After I stopped talking about UBI, it suddenly worked again. Sounds like a workup story. It's a breakup story. It's not you, it's me. Mama Bear, I like that. I'll share my birthday month, December, with the RV. I'm a selfless person like that. Sing some of these. Let's see. Rumble and YouTube both use CDN, content distribution network node, so it could very much be on the YouTube Rumble side. Yeah, it makes sense. Evie, yeah, volume. It's on an automatic setting so that you can control it on your end, turn it up, turn it down on the feed. Could I turn my end up? Yes, but then you won't be able to change it on your end. You probably don't want me to change it on my end. It would cause more problems for me to turn it up or change it. It would help you, but 10 other people would have a problem. Does that make sense? It's set that way to be the best for the largest number of people. Not ideal, but it works. Let me see. Yep. Andy is a yes for this week, but he is going to need to come in immediately at the beginning because he can't stay as late. So I will have to kind of rearrange the news or start just a few minutes before Andy joins and give just a cliff notes of the news. But he is a go for this week. I just have to bring him in early. So be prepared. Wednesdays may start a few minutes early, or you guys will have to wait for any RV related news until after Andy finishes. I think the goal is going to be to do a very quick bullet points before him and then talk after. Let's see, White Wolf. After moving here to Nevada and being in the 70s at the time and now 85, I thought no one would hire me as being old as I am. Now I'm thinking things differently. They would. And Vips, younger people under 61, I understand, have to have proof they are working in order to receive NESARA NESARA funds. I've heard a lot of different stories. What is real is going to be interesting to find out. I'm just reading a few of these. Let's see. Chad, Japanese, SoftBank, Sony marketing new stablecoin tied to the dollar, XRP, in my opinion, on fiber optic submarine cable, 4 mils faster. Oh, it's getting interesting. It is getting so interesting. Let's see. Andre, happy birthday to my mother today. Andre, happy birthday to your mother. Let's see. Get real. I spoke with an Iraqi U.S. Air Force serviceman who said they were dropping the zeros and what happened within the month. He said he had 24 million dinar. Get real. He's not the only person telling me that. That's why I think it's this month. At the same time, there's way too many people telling me it's this month. So I'm just praying and hoping. Z, hate to say it, but UBI won't work. Just look at the mess in the welfare system. Z, I wish I could tell you you're wrong. My concern is that you're right. Miss Catherine, so disabled young adult will not even be able to get that NESARA. No, didn't say that at all, Miss Catherine. He was saying a disabled one, definitely. In other words, they'd have to prove they couldn't work, or they'd have to prove that they are doing some type of work and not just living on the state and doing nothing. Daisy Duke, 24 million in R. Does he want to get married? I'm also hopeful of this one. Let's say medbeds are real. Once medbeds, some people called lazy, might get healthy and feel like being active. I hope you are correct. I hope you are correct. I would like to think, let's see, all you folks in here, how many of you guys just hate working, period? You don't want to work at all. If you were perfectly healthy, your back didn't hurt, you could change your age, would you do some kind of work? Whether it was growing your own food at home, whether it was, I don't know, making art, building houses, whatever it is. How many of you folks that can't work now because you are disabled, too old, whatever the reason, how many of you folks, even if you're retired now, if you were suddenly young, healthy, and energetic, how many of you folks would do some kind of work? I'm curious. I'm a workaholic, so I'd be working all the time. And many of you folks are like Mellifest. I'd be working. Yes. David, yes. I like to work, gardening if nothing else. Now, I'm with you. I would like to. If I could work, I'd love to. Rick, if I could work, I would do physical labor. I wouldn't be the egghead in the room. I would do physical labor because it is so rewarding. I know, but you're just beating your body up. But now let's say we could go get a med bed every so many years, like we did when we were young. I would totally do physical work and love every minute of it. MZ Milo 5 part-time. That's something. That is giving something to society. I would volunteer. I could live with that one. Volunteer work. Debbie, no passport to travel in the U.S. Travel all you want in the U.S. You don't need it. I'd be in the garden working on landscaping. Yeah, Art, I see that. A lot of you folks have to be caretakers, so you can't work even though you are healthy enough to work because, well, you already have a job. Spent 41 years as a commercial framer. Loved my job. Unfortunately, my body is so broke down I can't work. See, Vapor Trail, that was probably the most rewarding work I ever did. Working on a farm or building houses because you could see what you did at the end of the day. When they come out and tell people about med beds, will that take over our health insurance problem? Jade, it theoretically would. And that's part of me that I'm like, okay, do I need to be worried about a broken medical system? Do I not need to be worried about our broken medical system? If we don't have med beds coming around the corner in the next year or so, I need to be worried about our medical system. If it is rolling around, then I don't need to be worried about our medical system. I see you folks that also loved farming and building and etc. All right, guys. Lori, Cherry, Kim, Aloha Mud. We had some others that didn't give us names, like mothers and siblings and friends. So they tell me it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, darling. May you live, may you love, may all your dreams come true. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you, to all those celebrating. Leslie, I think that'd be a great thing. My husband wants to make a huge garden and teach young folks how to garden. I think it's a great idea. Tremendous idea. I hope many of the older folk, when you can physically feel up to it, all those things, you do things like that. Maybe open a volunteer shop where you have the tools and you teach young people how to fix things. Maybe it's a carpentry shop. You teach people how to do things. Maybe it's canning. Maybe some of you ladies or some of you guys want to teach the next generation how to can, how to grow things, how to support themselves. I love the idea. Love the idea. What else did we have? Let's see. Reports massive silver calls, rumors of Powell resigning tonight. We'll see how that one goes. One thing I do want to remind folks, you can't control the outcome of things, but you can control the amount of effort that goes into things. Let's say, just like having a better life, you can't control everything in the world, but you can control how much effort you put into doing those things. So if you're not happy where your life is, do something about it. Success is the progressive realization of a worthwhile ideal. So as long as you're making a step in progress each day, you're a success. Have a great day, everybody. I think I've covered everything I had for you this morning. If there's any breaking news, I'll be back. If not, I will see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. See you guys.